After how all the team stuff played out last round, I'm pretty sure that my friends on the blue team should all have 2 boarding bucks.
You have 2 boarding bucks after last round, right?
Yes.
And I have 2.
Yes.
How would you feel about getting joint custody of that steal a vote?
That's a smart idea.
I need to know where the votes are going to go, who has what power, and right now the only way I can do that is by buying this steal a vote.
I don't know how you feel about, like, us working together, but, like, I get really good vibes from you, and I'm, like, really interested in, like, being able to work together.
No, of course.
So if you'd be down to get it, just the 2 of us, like, obviously your call on if you want to spend your boarding bucks or not.
I hope that after this round we can talk about this a little bit more and solidify these plans and actually get our hands on that steal a vote.
Don't need a hard yes or no right away, but let me know.
Before this round started, I wanted to hop on a little early and make sure that I could grab a couple of people that I haven't had the opportunity to talk to yet. You're definitely somebody that I would like to have the opportunity to work with. This round, I'm really excited that I'm safe, so I could really use it to solidify myself moving forward.
Let's do it. And I think it'll be unexpected and nice definitely to like know we could be on the same page in these weeks to come. I'm loving it. It's unlike last year, so I'm really excited.
Well, we'll keep the lines of communication open, and I think that we'll be good. So.
Okay, let's do this.
Zach had actually reached out to me at the end of last round about wanting to speak, so we kind of made it happen right away. I was glad that I saw your message like right when I signed on, because I actually had drafted you a message on Friday to send you like right when I signed on, so perfect.
Oh yeah? Okay, great. I expressed to her that right off the bat, I really had a good impression with her. Immediately just got the impression that I wanted to talk to you and I wanted to work with you.
That's so funny. I felt the exact same way about you, and I almost picked you for my team. It was just that you were stolen before I could pick you, so.
Right. Well, I'm happy about that then.
Even though we hadn't really had much time to speak to each other yet, we both felt really strongly about each other, and we wanted to work on building an alliance.
I'll definitely try my hardest this week to make sure that you're good in everybody's book, which I assume that you are, because everybody voted you and everybody likes you. So
I'm hoping that the fear that maybe I will be like a threat because I'm well liked will come a little bit later, and that I can kind of go through these first like 3 rounds. I'm a little bit worried that I've accidentally put a target on my back by having the best first impression. I'm worried that it'll make people want to get me out before I'm able to build strong alliances here. So I'm very nervous coming into round 2, but we'll see how it goes.
Fight!
Hello, everyone. Congratulations on making it to day 4 of this competition and for surviving your first elimination of the season.
The green team was absolutely gutted last round, and I'm feeling like I'm alone in this world. Anthony seemed like he was going to be an ally to me, and him being gone was really a huge bummer, and I think a loss to my game. So going into this round, I'm nervous to see where all the connections are landing amongst the rest of the group, and I'm excited to find out where I'm going to fit in.
Day 1, you all played in teams, but tonight you will compete as individuals in your first safety competition of the season. Red team, because your team's nominee was successfully eliminated last round, you already earned safety and will not compete in the competition. That means CJ, Gabby, Tristy, Sheridan, and Zach, you will not be competing. You are safe for the round.
I could not be happier to be safe. I feel so good. Part of me wants to kind of like hit my red team like, hey, you're welcome. I saved you from this.
I felt like it was really an advantage to not have to compete and be safe, and also just like watch other people compete.
As you already know, I have asked you all to come prepared with 6 cups. We will be putting your endurance skills to the test, as each of you will be asked to balance your cups on your hand. We will start 1 cup at a time and increase the difficulty from there.
The minute I knew that we were stacking cups, I knew I was going to lose. Why? I have horrible motor skills.
My sister won last season's cup challenge, so I know I have a legacy to live up to.
Now, I know I mentioned this is a safety competition. However, what I didn't mention is that you don't necessarily need to be the last one standing to earn safety for this round, which is where our fight or flight twist for the round comes in. Tonight's choice will test your gut instincts, asking you to choose between power and safety, in a twist we call odd or even. This round's nominee will be determined by everyone's placement in the competition. If you fall out when there is an odd number of players left, you will secure safety. On the other hand, if you fall out when there is an even number of players left, you will become a nominee for the round. For the last player standing, not only will you win safety, but you will also gain power in the form of 3 boarding bucks. That being said, the choice is yours. Fight until the end to earn more boarding bucks, or flight on an odd number to secure your safety.
I could lose and do terribly, and yet I can still be safe for the entire day. How wonderful is that?
I've had the shakes since I was 11 years old. There's no way I'm stacking 6 cups on my hand. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and get out as early as possible.
It is very important for me to stay safe because I don't want to be eliminated because I'm seen as a potential threat socially moving forward.
There will be some people that now try to drop out potentially earlier than they would have. So I end up making the decision that I am going to try to win.
I realize that the first person who goes out is going to be safe. And I'm thinking, that's gotta be everybody's strategy, right?
We are now live. This competition has now begun.
Anthony starts the competition, and I'm looking around, and nobody has knocked over their cup yet.
We're gonna put our second cup on.
I'm thinking, this has gotta be my moment. Somebody's gonna do this. I have to do it first. And I knock over those cups.
Finley is out. Finley has secured safety. The next person out will be even.
I'm already shaking. This is bad. I do not have a chance at winning this challenge. I'm gonna have to drop, and I want to drop sometime when I'm safe. It's hard to strategize around this because you never know when people are gonna make their move. When is there actually gonna be a break when I can safely drop?
I realized my grave error, which was that I was too far to really properly grab each cup and start stacking them because it would mean a lot of body movement and you're just kind of supposed to stay stable.
We are now gonna move and put our third cup on. Ethan, you are a nominee.
Bam! I'm out.
Matt, that was 7th. You are odd. You are safe.
I was literally blessed with a miracle. Thank you for being safe.
It's time, Erica. It's time. Just go. Mine crashed so loudly and obnoxiously, so much more so than anyone else's, I swear.
I kind of wasn't paying attention. I was like so focused on those cups, but when I heard like a freaking car crash, it was hilarious to me.
Erica, you're out.
I like laughed a little bit and I was like, okay, back to the cups.
You are a nominee. That was 6th.
Of course that's how it would go. That is my luck. That is the story of my life. Of course I would try to be intentional and it would all be snatched away from me. Of course.
There's a pause, and no one's noticed it yet, and that's when I take my chance and drop.
Jesse, you are 5th. You are safe.
We're down to the final 4, and I really hope Laura loses this game. Can I explain to you what exactly it is? No. The girl has a stank face, and she gives me bad vibes.
A lot of people are dropping. I'm still confused about the main point of the game. I really just don't know what to do at this point, so I'm just standing there with the cups on my hand, like, what do I do?
That's when my competitive side took over. I left behind all of my middle of the pack stuff, like, nah, get rid of that mindset. I'm here to win now.
So now that we are down to 4, the next person who is out will be even. That person would be a nominee.
I honestly wasn't thinking that I was going to go very far in this competition, but I'm still feeling kind of sturdy, and I'm starting to think maybe I can win this.
I don't want to be up for nomination again because I was up for nomination last week, but I also am thinking a lot about the fact that my sister won last game, and I feel like I should kind of follow the legacy and potentially try to win.
How's everybody's night? Doing good. I feel pretty good. I'm looking over at the cameras, seeing some swaying, seeing some unsettled behavior. So I felt like I had a pretty good chance at staying in.
We're gonna add our 4th cup. It's gonna be faced up. I'm gonna give 10 seconds during this transition. 10, 9, 8, 7.
My hand is really shaking. I don't know if you can see it on the Zoom, but I can certainly feel it. And I'm starting to get really, really worried.
3, 2, 1. We are locked. There's no more adjusting.
I see Emily kind of shaking, kind of like shifting over a little bit.
I'm sorry, Laura, but you dropped.
If you look like you're pouting all the time, eventually the universe is going to give you a reason to pout.
The second Laura drops, just this wave of relief rushes over me, and 2 seconds later, I just let mine go because my hand was shaking, and I knew for a fact that I wasn't gonna win.
Emily, you are safe. It comes down to Greta and Angelo. The next person to drop will be a nominee. The other person will win the boarding bucks and secure safety.
I can't say I'm surprised at who's here. Greta clearly is a master of games, and Angelo just looks like he spent a lot of time in a frat house. So I'm not surprised he knows his way around a solo cup.
My eyes on the prize at this point. The winner gets not only safety, but some bucks, some moolah, some green, some shkarol. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was after.
I want those bucks, Greta.
I am trying to bring the meditation practices I've learned in. I am breathing very deeply in and out. I am trying to stare at something that's not moving. Anything to not think about how much I'm shaking and how much time is going by.
Ooh, mine are kind of shaking. I feel a rattle.
I was just kind of feeling out how she was feeling during the competition.
Getting stiff.
Yeah.
Trying to get my mind off of the cups and her mind off of the cups, more so in a bad way. You know, I'm trying to get her to lose.
Heart's beating so fast.
Angela starts kind of talking to me, and I don't know whether or not to engage, but I figure I'll just start chatting. Just trying to
Intense
breathe.
competition. Yeah, me too. Did you practice?
I did for like 2 minutes on Friday, and then I was like, I'm not gonna practice anymore. This isn't worth it. Did you practice?
You know, I didn't really practice, I gotta say. I wish I did more.
Angelo makes my heart kind of flutter a little bit. And he seems just very, athletically inclined.
I don't know what goes on in their family, but Greta is living up to the reputation of the sister of the girl who won this challenge last season. She is crushing this. She looks solid.
Please add your 5th cup. You will have 10 seconds to make the transition. 10, 9.
I decide to try and wait for Angelo to put his cup on, hoping he'll potentially mess up and he'll drop before I even have to put my cup on.
8, 7.
That doesn't happen, so I do put that final cup on.
3, 2, 1. We are locked.
On that 5th cup, I could really hear him shaking.
Oh man, this is a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
Just stress.
No! Ah, damn it! Ah!
Greta, you will be a nominee. Angelo, you are safe and have won 3 extra boarding cups.
Maybe I'm a little too excited, maybe I'm a little too pumped up because I did stack that 6th cup and then throw all my cups in the air. in celebration.
Good job, Angelo.
I don't know if that was too much, if I brought a little too much attention to myself, but you know, I was pretty happy. I got some money.
That was so tense.
I felt like I was so close, but ultimately I get second place, so that means I am up for nomination. So it was a good fight, but I could not quite pull it out.
You guys were just having the most pleasant conversation.
Yeah. Well, at first I was like, he's trying to make me distracted, and I was like, you know what? We'll just talk.
Angelo's too wholesome for that.
Yeah. But,
I would never.
Congratulations, Angelo. You are the winner of the competition and have earned yourself 3 boarding bucks in addition to safety. Additionally, that leaves us with our nominees, which are Ethan, Erica, Laura, and Greta.
There are only 4 nominees. I did not consider the number of people I would be up against. I thought it would be higher. So now I'm kind of regretting my decision to stay in because my initial plan coming in was to not be up for nomination this week, but here we are again.
You will all have time to strategize tonight before making your decision at the elimination ceremony.
My 2 closest allies, Ethan and Erica, are both nominated. And I'm gonna have to do some polling to try to make sure that the votes end up on someone else today.
Your time starts now. Good luck, everybody.
So I figured that I would start the call here with us because most of the nominees are from blue teams. All the teams are gone, they were disbanded, it is what it was, but I still like to think that those beginning impressions mean something, and I like to consider myself as somewhat of a loyal person. I think, right, if because we all have loyalty from last round, that we should all try and advocate for Greta to be voted out this time for numerous reasons, right?
Yeah.
You guys are safe with me. I don't want to vote blue team, you know,
so thanks,
I would,
Angela.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that there would be Erica, Jesse in the call as well, but they didn't join it. I thought that everyone was going to be on here. I feel bad just joining because it was the 2 of you, and I was like, oh, I figured that everyone would be on this call.
Oh, that was devastating.
I tried so hard to be intentionally out on an odd number, and then I just got fucked anyway. I feel like Jesse is my closest alliance, which is funny because that's pretty much the first thing that Jesse and I say to each other.
I love your energy, and like from the first conversation, I felt like good vibes from you, and like I want to work with you. Like you're incredible.
I feel very strongly about that.
Erica and I are just clicking. We're confirming that we both feel the same way about wanting to work together and wanting to make some big moves in this game.
How we feeling? Who we targeting?
Okay, this is what sucks. Ethan and Laura are both like blue team members, but I don't want to go after Greta 2 weeks in a row. She's not who I want to go after. And so unfortunately, I am looking at one of the members of the blue team.
It was nice working with Laura last week. I don't feel that strongly about her.
Either.
To be like totally blunt.
I still haven't really clicked with Laura. The fact that we worked together last round isn't gonna save her in my book.
I think it'll be easier to get other people to turn on Laura because no one really had a strong feeling about Laura. Like, I think I had the strongest reaction to Laura out of anyone here. So that's why, I guess that's where my logic's going. I feel like she's the easiest to turn it against.
I feel that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I have a stronger connection with both Ethan and with Greta than I do with Laura at this current point in time. I think we should try and hop on a call with Ethan.
When I finished speaking with Laura and Angelo, I felt like I had a sense of direction and purpose for knowing who to go for. And then as that thought was going through my mind, I received a call from the other half of the blue team.
Hi. Recording. Hi.
Hello.
I was like, oh, it's so great to see you guys. And like, I get to speak to the whole blue team. And let me just catch you up on what we were talking about with Laura and Angelo.
Obviously, most of the nominees, Erica, me, and Laura, like most of it's from the old blue team. So, but there is one upside to this, which is Greta, who was on the old green team, and we tried voting her out last round, and she's obviously a good pick to be potentially voted out. So I think I was going to try and reach out to everyone that I could, try and obviously advocate for myself, and then try and see if I could sway anyone's idea into Greta.
Jesse and I kind of share a look at this moment, and so I kind of look at Ethan, I say, Greta's already pretty well liked amongst the girls, and she's definitely going to be harder to turn people against than Laura is, who didn't really make a big impression on anyone last week. I am not going home. Greta is not going home, and the biggest threat to his gameplay at this point in time is Laura.
I really don't know where to take it from here because I was very sure to go after Greta, but speaking with Jesse and Erica, it makes me wonder if I should really just hop on the Laura train.
I don't want you to go anywhere, so I'm going to spread the word that nobody better vote Greta off or I'll be mad.
Thank you. Well, I guess what we should probably figure out then is who we're going to vote for. And like for me, I feel like my only opinion is I'd rather not vote Erica out. I'd like her to continue. I don't have an opinion about Laura or Ethan. I feel kind of bad because we put Laura up last.
Yeah, that was my call too. I was like, I feel like Laura has had enough.
We feel kind of bad that Laura has been up on the chopping block 2 weeks in a row, and I think that's what's really pushing us towards Ethan.
Putting Ethan's name out is going to be the best call.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we go and spread the good word after that.
So glad that we didn't have to do that game.
Oh, so glad that we didn't need to do that game. I can't even express to you how happy I am that we didn't need to do that. This boss's twist is no longer, but Red Team is still kind of working together in the background. I think that we have an understanding that if we stick together, that could propel us very far into this competition. If we want to move forward as a group, I think this is a very important vote.
And what do you think would be important?
I'm worried that he's going to throw out Greta's name because Greta placed second in the competition.
I think getting Ethan out would be very interesting.
I agree with that. That's where
That's kind of where I was going as well.
I'm so relieved that you're the one who said it so that I don't have to push it.
My first impression of him is what I wrote down was sketchy.
Oh my god! First impression for me. What did you write down?
But I mean,
Actually, you
he
know
hasn't
what?
even reached out yet. So like, I don't know. That's why I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. With Laura, we feel like what we see is what we're gonna get, and we don't know if that's the case with Ethan. We don't know if in the back of his head he's scheming up some master plan.
I feel good that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, okay.
You were so close. Oh my god.
He actually ends up connecting with me and mentioning that he's played previous games with my sister.
I do want to work with you in the future. I worked with Claire in a past game.
Ooh, okay.
So I follow some type of a tradition, right?
He is willing to work with me, which is kind of out of left field. The previous week, I was really worried about where his head was in terms of who was going out last round when I was talking to like you and Sheridan or something. All of you like did not read it all, and I was like, are they voting for me? But yeah.
No, that wasn't the case.
Okay.
We knew that we wanted to get Anthony out. We just didn't want it to be known that we got Anthony out because we were kind of like, we didn't want
Like,
that to
being a
spread
little
yet.
cagey.
But we
Totally.
always wanted you, so.
Okay, great. Hearing him say that, I get really excited and obviously feel happy that I feel like I have another person in my corner.
I have no interest in getting you out. I'm going to go with whatever I think is the majority right now. And I'm still confused on those numbers. I'm hearing Ethan a little bit more than Laura, but I'm hearing the two other names.
If folks don't know, we're kind of have already started talking. Something I'm thinking about for a future round and for future conversations is to maybe have a little bit of a more low-key alliance with Zach and see how we can potentially play that. Yeah. Okay, also number one, I love your shirt. I also love your earrings. They're dubs?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so cute. I'm just pretty confident that I'm not going to get eliminated this week, which is a lot different from what I was feeling last week.
We're like 99.9% sure that neither one of us is being voted off tonight. I guess because I worked pretty closely with Ethan and Laura last week since they were both on the team.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I felt. It was kind of like, I feel like I had a much better bond with both Greta and with Ethan actually than I did with Laura. And so that was kind of the conclusion.
It really is at the very core a toss-up. Like no one has strong opinions for or against either of these people. It just feels like we're kind of closing our eyes and pointing at one and hoping to get other people to point at them too. So like I'm not out so Erica's not out.
But I mean, honestly, I think as long as it's not either one of us, I'm happy.
Yeah, same.
I think the main name floating around right now is Laura.
Laura.
Yeah, not just
I kind of figured. Okay, yeah, Laura. Laura sounds good. Whatever, yeah.
of the people who are on blue team, I like you, I like Erica, I like Ethan. I didn't really get to know Laura that much, and so I would sooner like just work with you three as individuals rather than like, oh, we're the blue team, we gotta stay strong.
Right? I was like, is the blue team really like that?
Like, it's not really a thing.
I think Jesse's cool. I think he'll probably be a good player, so I'm listening to him. Right. Yeah.
And then Ethan is also a little bit in limbo just because people don't know him super well. But between Ethan and Laura, like, it sucks to choose someone from blue team, but I'm probably gonna go with Laura.
Yeah, I might do the same.
He seems pretty receptive to it, and hopefully Angelo is someone who I can work with a bit more in the future. He seems like he's got good energy, and hey, he's now the richest man in the game, so hopefully we can keep this relationship going.
I'm glad we had this chat, you know?
Yeah.
I was like,
hop on your many other calls, Mr. Winner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
So I realized that I know Matt. Didn't realize it at first because when I knew him, he was a little kid and now he's all grown up.
Sheridan and I grew up in the same small town, and we were a part of the same like children's theater company. While she designed costumes, I was in the cast.
I'm really happy to have someone that I know in the game because I think Matt and I having that personal connection might make us strong allies.
We have to have a little reunion, a little high school reunion, and then we can be allies for the rest of the game. Beautiful.
And I was relieved when he was safe because now I'd have the opportunity to talk to him.
I have to talk to Sheridan, but I thought I just want to kill many birds with one stone and try to get a group alliance going.
Hey girl, I love the name of this chat. I always
Yeah. Team Hey Girl.
Hey girl. Because it's like me and the girls.
So I just had a conversation with Laura. I did tell Laura that other people were thinking it was between her and Ethan and that, you know, maybe I could help turn the tides one way or another because I do like her and I want her still in the game. I think that this is a really important moment for us to like, someone will feel like we're saving them.
Yeah.
And that will be helpful to us in the future. So I'm wondering, is it better to have Laura on our side or who do we trust more?
That makes sense for sure.
Sheridan, you're asking the big questions here.
I know.
I'm thinking to myself that she could be really good for my game.
Would Laura be a good number?
It sounds bad, but I feel like Laura will be easier to manipulate.
And then,
I didn't hear that.
I've heard that. Miss Sheridan, oh my goodness, manipulation? I would never. Well, but just that, like, Ethan might be a bigger gamer, you know, like, just more to worry about in the future. Now I know that she's a player and she's looking for people to manipulate. I don't know. It kind of depends on what we want to go with. Do we want to add some spice or do we want a little bit more control with this vote? It depends.
Even though I really regret saying that Laura would be easy to manipulate, I do think that if I'm able to get them on my side, that Laura should stay in the game, that it could be my first real strategic move of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
Cool.
Unfortunately, so far everyone seems to think it's going to be either down to you or Greta. So
I'm trying to call people, but nobody's answering me. I call Jesse, he doesn't pick up. I call Erica, she doesn't pick up. And now I'm just sitting here like, I really don't know who to call. I was trying to call a bunch of people and nobody was answering me. So I was like, all right.
She seems pretty down about being up for elimination again, and a little bit worried that no one's answering her calls, and that might mean that people are voting for her. I use that as an opportunity to reassure her that I'm not voting for her, and people that I've talked to aren't voting for her.
I will let you know I am not voting for you. Most of everyone I've talked to is not voting for you. So the vote seems to be swinging in Ethan's direction.
I'm kind of relieved that I'm being defended in multiple chats. I also do feel bad for Ethan because, you know, he's part of the blue team and he was very nice to me when I was talking to him.
At least you're good for another round. Like,
I don't know. I'm trying to call more people. I'm like, please don't vote me out.
Laura could be a great number to have on our side in the future, whether she's proves herself to be a super strong competitor or not. Whereas Ethan, we're not sure which way he could go. So going into the elimination, I am voting for Ethan.
I am trying to pull for Erica and Ethan to not be eliminated.
Okay.
I gotta make sure that that vote swings to Laura.
I don't know about
I
Laura.
don't care about Laura.
Okay, I think a lot of people are going there.
If these people don't really have an impression of Ethan or Laura, we'll just tell them neither one is big competition, but Ethan's more fun to play with. And that's the pitch.
Is he a bigger threat than Laura? Sure. But is he a threat? No. It's splitting hairs at that point, and I would much rather play with someone like Ethan than yeah, I felt like Laura was giving up last week.
I'm hoping people see that and see Ethan's energy and that he brings it in his nomination speech, and that'll be what saves him at the end of the day.
Her goodbye speech was truly a goodbye speech last time. And do we really want a player who's not putting their full all into the game?
Currently, I feel like my two closest alliances are Jesse and Zach, and I kind of want to play Puppet Master and push this into a triple alliance between the three of us, because I think our gameplays could be really, really strong if we work together. Jesse and I chatted about this, and we just think that neither one of them is going to be a particularly strong player, and Ethan's more fun to be around. And that was our entire
right. They want to keep Ethan and they want to vote out Laura. That's interesting. Now I have kind of two sides of an alliance pulling me one way, pulling me the other way. And now I need to make a decision for what's best for me. I'm 100% good with either or. If I go with Erica and Jesse, that might prove allegiance to a new alliance that I think can do really well.
I also have my eye on a second triple alliance with Gabby and Angelo.
Funny name for this group, Andres' Bitches.
We're all brought to this game by season 1's Andres. And so we are the alliance known as Andres' Bitches. So I'm feeling very strong and very good about my double, triple alliances.
Do you have an opinion about what direction you're thinking to go tonight?
Everyone that I talked to kind of seemed like good players and they didn't want to get Greta out. I hate to say the blue team names, but maybe Laura.
That's how we're feeling too.
Is that the vibe of Andres' Bitches?
I feel so bad because I feel like it's been me and Jesse who completely instigated this, so it feels a little bit like a coup on the part of the blue team.
They both kind of tell me that they seem to have a better working relationship with Ethan.
Hate to say it.
Hate to say it, but
yeah.
I think that that's maybe not a good thing for me, because if I do ever have to go separate ways from Erica and Angelo, I still haven't talked to Ethan yet, and he would be a number way more in their pocket than in mine. And I do get some messages from Laura before the elimination, so at least she's reaching out to me.
Going into this strategizing round, I'm doing something a little out of the box. I'm just gonna wait. I'm taking this opportunity to find out if I am a valued ally to anybody else. During this time, I'm hanging out. I'm looking over my notes and strategizing. I'm playing with my cats. I'm playing a little ball. Just passing the time. I wait. No one calls. I'm really not confident that anybody here wouldn't stab me in the back for a donut. So I think I know how to play this going forward. That is true, I didn't talk to anybody.
Okay, so yeah, just to clarify, you didn't talk to anybody.
I literally didn't talk to anybody.
Welcome to your second elimination ceremony of the season. Angelo, congratulations again on winning the first competition of this season and securing those boarding bucks and your safety. What made you go for fight today?
I'm just a fighter. I saw those bucks and really my eyes turned green, so I just went for it.
Finn, you were the first to drop. What made you go for flight today?
Personally, as soon as I heard that the first one out was safe, I really thought I was going to be racing for that opportunity. So when it came the time to stack the second cup and no one was out yet, I figured I was going to be in the first couple out. So I thought, let's just call this.
For other folks who went for safety, What went into that choice, and how intentional was that choice?
I chose to flight for safety. It just ended up backfiring in a really weird way on me. Like, I thought I was so intentional about when I was like, and threw my cups to the ground, and then it just came back to bite me in the butt.
Ethan, Laura, Greta, and Erica, the four of you landed on those even spots. How are you feeling going into tonight's elimination?
Well, I think if it is my time to go, I fully deserve it. When you gave us the time to prepare, to get ready, stack the cups, I think I had very poor planning skills in that time period. So just off that alone, I wouldn't blame anyone for voting me out. But going forward, I think maybe this gives me a chance to really express when I give my case about not wanting to be voted out, and hopefully that will ring a few bells with other people, and maybe we'll get to connect based off that.
Like, I wanted to fight and was hoping that even if I didn't win, going far and staying in the game would potentially be like admirable. But also tactically, I did not realize how few people would end up being up for elimination, so it vaguely backfired.
Awesome. Well, as you said, there really is no place to hide in 4 nominees, but only one person's going home tonight. There's going to have to be a decision reached. Everyone who's not a nominee, what kind of things are you weighing as you decide who may be a good candidate to be eliminated tonight?
Yeah, I think on like a broader strategic level, everyone's kind of taking in the connections that they made the first week and seeing who they are vibing with and want to continue the competition with, but also thinking about what connections do other people have, which connections are other people making that you might not be making, and which course of action is going to be best for you in the future in general.
I think also a game like this one is interesting because the nominees are essentially random. So I think it was also a situation where you really had to look at each player individually rather than thinking just about strategy. But, you know, there might be people that you thought you were going to play the whole game with versus people who you hadn't thought about much, and just kind of weighing those different options.
I'll say something else weird this week is that, like, we're not playing in teams anymore, but there's still a lasting effect. A full third of us are safe because they were on the winning team last week. And so there becomes this question of, like, do you expect that, like, those teams force people to get closer together? How do you do that math around that? And then it also wound up 3 of the 4 nominees were on last week's blue team. Does that skew one way or another? How do you do all this calculus around it is just so hard to figure out.
Great. Is anyone else also feeling the effects of the team twist and want to talk about how it influenced how they navigated this round?
It made it really hard as one of the 3 nominees from the blue team in campaigning. It was just very difficult because you don't want to throw any of your past team members under the bus. It's just like a really sticky kind of situation to be in, especially being on round 2 only.
There's 3 blue nominees. There's only 4 nominees. Greta, that would leave you as a green team member as kind of the odd one out there.
I think from the perspective that I'm at least playing from is I'm not thinking about what team people are on when I'm talking to them. I'm feeling like I should take better notes during these games because I didn't make that connection, but now that you mention it, it's something that I will think about.
For me, that has been such a strong consideration in all of these conversations. You know, it's 3 blue versus 1 green. Is blue team still going to work together? Does blue team still exist? What's green team going to do? To hear that Greta wasn't even considering that until now is surprising to me. Maybe I'm not as in the know as I like to think I am.
I guess to speak to my own strategy playing this game, like I think the random groups I was set up in as well as the green team were important in my relationships, but like that shows also the importance of, I guess, getting to know more people outside of like the realm of folks you were set up with. So I'm trying to just like talk to as many people as possible in these initial rounds. And maybe I was a little bit too revelatory about people I've been talking to, but that's kind of where I was.
Does anyone have anything left to say before we give the nominees all a chance to give their final pleas? So Ethan, the mic is yours.
Ethan and Laura need to come up with some really strong arguments right now, and it doesn't really matter what comes out of mine or Greta's mouth right now, as long as we don't say like, fuck all of you, I hate you, we're probably gonna be fine.
Hey, so like said earlier, I've had no hard feelings. Very similar to Anthony from last round. No hard feelings if I get voted out. I think I deserve it a little bit, so I would probably do something just the same.
Ethan!
Buddy!
In terms of like a logistics thinking standpoint, that in terms of like a team member, if they can't really think on the spot like that, then it makes sense to want to see like would they really last that long on my team or like with a partnership or anything like that sort. Besides that, I just think the only way I could plead my case is that I try to be as friendly and like loyal as possible, I like to say. If anyone wants to keep that in mind as they're voting, feel free to, but hopefully I get to see you guys again soon.
So similar to Ethan, also no hard feelings. If I get voted out, it's only the second week. I would like to think that me winning the first impression vote last week will help me this week, but then again, I also know that that could have put a target on my back instead, so I do understand if that is what happened. Yeah, so basically just, I don't know, I don't really have much to say other than that. No hard feelings if I am the one, but I hope I'm not the one.
Yeah, I know it's very easy to vote for me because it's my second week in a row being nominated, but no hard feelings if you do vote for me. I tried to make as many calls as I could during that time to plead my case, but, I don't know, things happen. Yeah, that's it.
I'm a little bit unimpressed with some of the pleas.
I don't think I've heard the words no hard feelings so many times in the span of 15 minutes.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Also no hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings if I am the one.
Doesn't make me want to save any of these people. If you want to stay in the game, prove to me that you're willing to fight for that. No hard feelings is not a good ally to have.
I get it because we don't really have hard feelings right now, but again, like make a case to be in this group and to stay. So I, again, don't think that I'm gonna be out, but I kind of make the decision there to add a little bit more passion and fight in my speech.
I definitely share the sentiments of my fellow nominees. I think we're all understanding human people and we won't have grudges against folks that vote us out. For me personally, this round, I did want to fight and stay in the game. And so I think like by trying to go for the gold, I'm hoping that you'll respect my drive and zeal for winning challenges. And I'm really hoping to be able to stay in the game, continue playing, continue talking to people who I haven't met, continue talking to people who I have talked to already. So I'd love to just not be one of your votes this week. Thanks.
I want to be remembered as someone who is here to play, who is here to have a good time, and who is here to fight mostly, but also play when needed.
Well, thank you all four of the nominees for your final pleas. Please send me your votes to eliminate now. As a reminder, the nominees are Ethan, Erica, Laura, and Greta.
I cast my vote for Ethan. He hasn't reached out to me at all this round. And like I said, it seems that he might be in the pockets of some other people that aren't me. And to cut him out now would probably help me and my numbers.
I'm voting for Laura because it's her, Ethan, and my boy Ethan is not going home this week.
I vote for Ethan to go home, partially because I do recognize that he could be a super strong player going forward.
I am once again voting for Laura. She seems boring. She has a stank face, and I'm here to finish what I couldn't last week.
So I'm probably one of the last people to vote. I initially put in Ethan, and then I changed it to put in Laura, and then I changed it again to put in Ethan, and then...
Ethan, Erica, Laura, and Greta, you're the four nominees for this round, and one of you will be going home tonight. Ethan and Laura, please keep your videos on. Greta and Erica, you can turn your videos off. You are safe. Ethan and Laura, it comes down to the two of you. And the second person eliminated from Fight or Flight Season 2 is... Ethan. I'm sorry, Ethan, but you have been eliminated.
I am genuinely floored in this moment. Like, no, not Ethan!
This sucks. I'm not happy about this. I was so confident we had the numbers, and I was apparently very wrong.
Ah! Again? disappointed that I'm gonna have to spend another week staring at Laura's stank face.
Well, like I said, no hard feelings. I'm so happy I was able to play a part of this game so far.
It hurt a little, but it is more than okay.
Again, no hard feelings. I really hope anything I have done up until this point will help the rest of the game, and can't wait to see the rest of the game play out.
I have a hard time naturally reaching out to people, so I kept a lot of communication with the team that I had, and through my first impressions with some other people who weren't on Blue Team, I did try and reach out to them, but I don't think I reached out to nearly enough people. Me and Jesse didn't even talk about using our boarding bugs if we needed to. I'm not sure really where our heads were at, but it didn't happen.
Thank you so much, Ethan, for playing. You put up a great fight, but it's time for you to flight.
It has been an absolute pleasure meeting so many friendly people, so many amazing people, and I'm excited to see how this rest of the season plays out, and more to come. Thank you for having me.
Ethan, I am so sad to see you go. Genuinely. I really was looking forward to working with you.
Dude, I am devastated to see you go. It has been so much fun playing this game with you. I was so sure you were going to stick around longer.
Blue Team homies, I'm sorry it had to go this way. I can honestly say I did not vote for you, and I did not see it coming. I wish you well.
You seemed like a really eager player, but we didn't talk a lot, and that's why I had to vote you out, because I didn't think you would be a number for me.
I'm really sorry that I voted for you. I know that we said that we would have each other's backs, but I'm sorry, this is just how fight or flight works.
This has not been my round. I am frustrated, confused, overconfident, maybe humbled. We'll see. But what I'm feeling is I really need to get some stronger connections and actually talk to more people in this game, because I'm realizing maybe things seemed really good in my bubble, but there are people I have not talked to yet, and I gotta get on that.
So I love that you're drinking from the solo cups now.
I figured I'd do a little bit of a a little Easter.
I realized I should have been doing that all night.
Greta is someone who I've really enjoyed watching play from a distance, but haven't really gotten to talk to yet. I'm hoping that this is a connection that we can maintain, because it seems like we both have a lot of respect for each other's games.
You're not your sister, and that's really showing to people, and I think that's a point in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I need to go on record. I stand by my sister. She's my sister, and I think she did a great job. But
I was rooting for her all season against my boyfriend, who lost to her the final challenge.
Wait, who's your boyfriend?
Noah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love Noah. Great surprise. I really liked how Noah played the game. I'm actually trying to emulate him a little bit by talking to everyone, because I think that really worked to his advantage.
I've noticed that there are a few people in the cast who have that strong connection to someone. Like you have Claire, Erica has Andres, and then I have Noah.
Funny enough, these were last season's top 3, and Greta pitches that maybe we should have our own next generation alliance.
Yeah, well, honestly, you and me and Erica should get in some sort of alliance to
be down with that.
We could potentially try to recreate the final 3, and I know that's speaking really far ahead right now, but we kind of just throw it out there and are like, ooh, let's make this happen.
It could be a fun little trio to have.
So I brought this up to, hey girl, saying our next step is maybe we're the core, but we need a few other people in our alliance. We already have CJ, Greta, Gabby, myself, Sheridan, and then if we add Zach and Laura to the mix, we'll have that majority. You definitely have some numbers, definitely with me and with a lot of the other girls. So just me and the gals, we've been chatting.
Yes. He kind of gives me a lot of reassurance that he wants to play the game with me and he wants to try to form an alliance.
I think we're trying to form a group that's majority.
I feel like the blue team has kind of fallen apart. Nobody answered my calls, so that's it for me. Yeah.
So if you want to be a part of that group, awesome. Afterwards, I talked to Zach, and I was like, hey, Zach, I hope you had a good game. Didn't talk to you at all. Yeah. I don't know who necessarily you've been talking to and having really close connections to, but I'm thinking about making a more majority group
think that that's great. He's really gung-ho about himself setting it up, which is fine by me because I don't want my name as the person that tried to form this majority alliance if it crumbles.
I'm also looking at our other 6, and like I already talked to Emily and Finn, and I already talked to Jesse and Trishti. So really it's Erica and Angelo who are the only people now in this competition who I haven't established real relationships with yet. So it's looking good for me.
It's me and you to the end, but them bitches don't need to know that. Okay? That's basically the energy. They don't need to know what we got going on here.
I recognize that I haven't actually gotten a chance to talk with Trishti one-on-one, but I definitely love a chance to chat with her and solidify the fact that we're going to be in our Roomies for Life alliance.
You know, they know we were roommates, but we can totally downplay it as kind of like, oh yeah, freshman year
know
roommates.
each other,
right? It's awkward, huh? Like, we'll just leave it at that. But it's me and you to the end, queen. You already know. You already know.
Solid. I'm glad. Thank God. I'm really concerned that I'm going to be flailing out here without a ride or die beside me, and I know that that is pretty much guaranteed death in this kind of game, so I am super relieved that a strong strategic player like CJ sees me as an asset, and that she wants to keep communicating with me and making sure that we have each other's backs.
Also, now that I can speak candidly,
she's telling me about Ethan and those conversations that she's had. She's also telling me a little bit about how she thinks that Jesse is potentially making himself a target.
He made a little snide comment about like, oh, if we go to a wheel and CJ gets out.
It's deadlocked. Does it go to a wheel and CJ gets eliminated again?
Oh my God.
Trigger warning for the W word.
I was like,
you're on my list. I'm writing you down, Jesse.
Yeah, anybody who mentions wheel is like already gone.
That's a trigger. Like, don't do that. But I just have a feeling, like, he messaged me. He's like, hey, you want to steam a little bit? Like, I think he's really into the, like, strategizing and big social game.
By making himself more noticeable, he's also making himself a target. And so she's not sure if he's going to be safe for the coming weeks. And I think she's interested, maybe, in not having him be safe.
I think he's going to get really into it, and I would rather kind of like cut his legs out from beneath him before he even realize. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. We're like, let's,
all right,
me and you, girl, to the end.
I wanted to hop on because right now I feel like you two are my two closest alliances.
100%. So
bring us into a little group.
I love this.
We need to come up with an alliance name if that's what we want to do.
We'll brainstorm.
I think that if we have this group of 3 that we can move together with, I am here for it. I think that we can do a lot of damage in this game.
I haven't worked with Zach at all, but I like his energy, and he seems like he's here to play the game.
On the topic of doing damage and equipping ourselves to do damage,
I'm not sure whether or not I should mention the idea of getting the steal vote, but now feels like the time to do that.
A pitch that I admittedly floated to Ethan before this round that now is not going to happen. I was pitching the idea of getting joint custody of that steal a vote.
I only have one boarding buck right now because
I only have one as well.
Yeah, like I didn't get any additional last week, and obviously I didn't this week.
They both want to hold on to their boarding bucks, and I get it. I'm not going to press it or make a stink of it. I'm hoping that Ethan gives me his so that I can get it and have it for this group before someone else snags it.
Admittedly, there is a chance that Ethan will give me his bucks because he and I were quite close.
Right.
So if I wind up with 4 bucks after this, I might actually just go ahead and get that on my own.
Yeah.
I think that that's a smart decision.
I decided to give my boarding bucks to Angelo.
Oh, wait, what? I got his boarding bucks? Oh, shit. What? Thanks, man. My goodbye message would have been a lot different if I knew that.
With last round and this round, it seems like his accumulation of boarding bucks is going to amount to something. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Next round, I think I'm going to have to make a purchase or something.
I don't get Ethan's boarding bucks, and I'm a little confused and frustrated. Apparently, I don't know how people are acting in this game, so I'll leave it broke and down one ally. Great.